Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. I hope you guys are ready for your Tex Grebner Outdoors Saturday morning cartoon awesomeness, because we're going to be talking about some hardcore bow hunting wool clothing. Now you may be wondering why we're talking about bow hunting wool clothing here in the summer. Don't worry, you'll find out. Now if you guys want to support the channel in a way beyond simply watching the videos, you can go to texgrebneroutdoors.com, check out the Make It Weird sticker, the Make It Weird shirt, the Life Ain't Like the Pornos, Hunting Ain't Like the TV Show shirt, and of course my personal favorite, the Kill with Stick shirt. I'm also seriously considering adding the hashtag Outlaw Trad Life shirt to the Tex Grebner Outdoors store. So let me know if you guys would be interested in kind of a Jolly Roger traditional archery themed shirt. Now if you guys want a discount on all your Trad Life supplies and to show your support for Tex Grebner Outdoors, you can use the code of Tex Grebner in your checkout at Three Rivers Archery. Bows, arrows, broadheads, you name it, they've got it, especially if you're looking to get some bow fishing equipment. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this week's episode of Tex Grebner Outdoors, because I'm probably going to piss some people off. Now I'm a big fan of hunting in wool clothing. Wool is quiet, wool is warm, and if you get dense enough wool, it is actually windproof. But it will also breathe and wick away your sweat without freezing you. Now the reason that we're having this conversation now on this beautiful summer day is the fact that summer is a time that you should be getting ready for less nice times of year. Who knows when the weather gets cold what international shipping is going to look like? Who knows when it's time for hunting season what the country itself, the United States, is going to look like? Now is the time to be taking care of this stuff. So I love hunting in wool. Now be my guest. If you want to get out your checkbook and you want to buy Filson or Sleeping Indian, be my guest, go for it. However, I cannot afford that, and I don't feel like hunting all over eBay for vintage Woolrich plaid or Pendleton. Now, we're going to be talking about Big Bill from Canada and Swan Dry from New Zealand. I mentioned international shipping possibly being sketchy. What's nice about Swan Dry is that they ship worldwide for free as part of their price. At least they did. So that's great. However, I always run into the same issues when I try and talk about this with people. They say they can't believe that I'm supporting non-American brands. Well, the truth is that I fail to see how it is somehow more virtuous to support an American brand that will buy wool cheaply in New Zealand, export it to China, have it sweatshop manufactured into hunting clothing, and then import it into the United States to make an exorbitant profit with outrageous prices. Now don't get me wrong, that is a perfect capitalistic model, but as the end user, I don't see how that is any more virtuous than me buying from Swan Dry in New Zealand or Big Bill in Canada, where these small shepherds, these mutton busters, are no different in small agriculture than I am on a family beef operation in this country. I also don't understand how it's so much more virtuous to buy Walmart sweatshop cotton clothing with an American camo pattern licensed onto it than it is to buy from Big Bill or Swan Dry. So now that I got that out of the way, we can actually talk about the products, because I've probably alienated half of my audience by even having the gall to recommend. Excuse me, Mr. Frog, I'm talking here. Shh. Okay, so what I like about Swan Dry being from New Zealand is, simply put, it's cheap, comparatively speaking. Like, for now, the American dollar is still worth more than a New Zealand dollar, which means that you can get clothing that is manufactured in New Zealand for much less money than what the Kiwis are actually paying for their dollars. Our dollars go a hell of a lot further, and that includes buying from Canada. The prices are much lower in our currency than they are in the native currencies, which is actually how I'm able to afford this stuff. Now, if you want to get out your checkbook and buy Sleeping Indian or Filson, like I say, be my guest. But another great thing about the Swan Dry Ranger shirts is that they're hydrophobic wool, which means that when you're wearing it and it starts raining, the rain isn't going to soak into it. And you get your money's worth out of layering up Swan Dry because it's at least 300 grams of wool per layer. Same way with the 18 ounce and 24 ounce Big Bill wool layers that I'm going to talk about. You actually get your money's worth out of it instead of being, $500 in to some other wool brands and all you've got is glorified long johns. So not only is it waterproof, it is dense, which means that when you get more than one layer on, it will actually stop the wind. But it is still porous enough that it will let the air through to wick away your sweat and help it evaporate. So I can't say enough good things about the Swan Dry Ranger shirts. It's warm, it's hydrophobic, and it's quiet. Now the only downside is you want to get an original Ranger shirt in green plaid or olive. The Ranger Shirt Extreme is a little bit too loud because it has a poly inner liner. So I'm not a fan of the Ranger Shirt Extreme. But I know that it works, and I know that I can afford it, and I know that I've taken it down well below zero. Now, the Big Bill pants are 80% wool, and the way that I recommend layering Big Bill is to actually put long johns on and then put on one Ranger shirt from Swan Dry with your base layer on and put on the 24 ounce bibs, then put on the 18 ounce BDU pants or cargo pants over top of that, and then put on another Ranger shirt over top of that. Now that isn't great if you have to take a crap in the woods in a hurry, but it is perfect for sitting in a deer stand. So I'm a huge fan of both of these products. And going back to the Big Bill wool pants, they are an 80% wool, which makes them a lot more durable than, say, 100% wool. But the fact is, now is the time to be getting this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. You're also going to want to order it oversized with the Swan Dry stuff because it is going to need to layer. And the New Zealand sizes are a little bit smaller than American sizes. So you're going to want to actually order your sizing accordingly to make sure that everything fits together and nests properly. But if you're interested in living that wool plaid life, I highly recommend the Swan Dry Ranger shirts and the Big Bill pants. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode of Tex Grebner Outdoors. As always, God bless all my sports center of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Please come, my friends, over at threeriversarchery.com. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement, you good cops out there. And thank you to those of you serving in the military ready to die for freedom anywhere. And thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.